All right, let's brush off the dust. So, what should we talk about first? So, I mean, Pictomancer, right? That's.
Oh, I'm excited.
So is this the path you wanted to go down, the Pictomancer, or were you like on the Green Mage boat, the Geomancer boat?
I was on the Geomancer boat, honestly. Pictomancer, my problem with Picto was I couldn't figure out how they would do the animations because it looks very cartoony, but I love it.
I think because it's so outside of normal, like what we see, I think that's the draw for it for me, is it looks so unlike any other job. And I think that was a good call because all the jobs are starting to bleed together and all we have is really animations that make jobs different. And I think they did a good job picking something that looks strikingly different because it has to. It looks completely different, like different art style. Yeah. Even the different moves we see in the little video, each attack has like different art styles, like watercolor or like spray paint. Like it's all crazy.
And
it looks crazy.
Moogle as well.
Yeah, and the Moogle.
Little Moogle.
Are you going to be playing the class or?
I'm going Viper first. Viper first. I mean Zidane, however the heck people pronounce his name.
Oh, I don't know about that. Zidane. I don't know about that one. I like Zidane.
I had always pronounced it Zidane as a child.
Zidane? Oh, yes. Man.
But to be fair, I was one of those kids who, in Final Fantasy VIII, I guess I didn't read properly, you know, Timber Maniacs. I'd always read that as Timber Mechanics for the longest time. And it wasn't until I streamed it that someone pointed it out. And I was like, what? And they're like, read it again.
Yeah, that's wrong. That was definitely incorrect.
Yeah.
I mean, things I've mispronounced as a child and hearing it as an adult. I mean, even if the ones that most people agree with, like Zidane, most people said Zidane, even though you're crazy and you said Zidane. But
yes,
then there's like Titus. Everyone said Titus, unless you said.
I said Titus.
Oh man, that's so weird.
I said Titus. Japanese pronunciation. They pronounced it Titus in Dissidia, even in the English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in Dissidia was so long after original release. We just had, you know, text to go by.
That's fair. That's fair.
Were you an Eris or an Aerith person? Well, I guess Eris because everyone did the English version.
Yeah, we started Eris. I was kind of offended. Well, no, I played Kingdom Hearts first, and then I saw. Oh, wait, no! I would have been an Aerith, because I started with Kingdom Hearts before I played 7.
You started with Kingdom Hearts? We're on different planets, you and I. We're the same age, aren't we?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Final Fantasy X was my first Final Fantasy. And then I jumped to Kingdom Hearts, and then I played all the other Final Fantasies. Okay, hear me out. I played Final Fantasy X. I did not know a memory card existed. So the number of times I restarted, because I just thought it was normal. I would die, start over. I've memorized that whole beginning sequence because I played it so much because I didn't know a memory card existed, and I also didn't know that a sphere grid existed because I never read the rules. Tutorials in Nintendo? N64? What?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was me.
Well, it's weird to see. I mean, I didn't really play video games seriously until probably like 7 was probably the first game I played seriously, like as still an idiot child, but I kind of knew a little bit what was going on.
I mean, that's a lot of reading.
It is. I wasn't good at it, but I made my way through. Okay, well, back to Pictomancer. That was a weird path to go down. And now that I know so much about you that I don't agree with, we can move on. Pictomancer. I was in the boat that it was going to be Pictomancer. I think when we saw Yoshi P's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt, I was so confused. But as soon as I started seeing the comments online about, oh, well, they're all artists, I'm like, oh my God, Pictomancer would be such a cool thing.
Oh, right.
And I'm glad it was it. I'm not going to play the class, probably. I try to keep like one class per designation. Like my ranged magic is still Red Mage. It's probably going to be what I stick with.
Okay.
But I'm glad we have something very different. Viper, I'm definitely going to play because why not? It has 2 swords. That's cool.
It's cool.
But I was really gunning for like a Corsair, like a pirate class. And I think Viper scratches that itch. I mean, it might not be exactly what I wanted, but it's still pretty close.
It's really close. Yeah, I could see that. I feel like pirate glam would work for Viper.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be pirate glam, I'm sure. I think everything past Shadowbringers was like a step above. Like you can really start seeing textures and stuff. So I really hope that some of the really cool Corsair-y pirate looking stuff from like 2.0, 3.0. I hope it gets retextured sometime soon. Did they say they're starting with the old stuff or the new stuff first? I forget. They said they're doing all of it, but
they're doing all of it. I think they're starting with the older stuff. I could be wrong.
I know they already did all of the race specific gear, like the starting gear, and that's looking really good. So that's exciting. I mean, it's just glam. That's all this game's about nowadays.
It is, but I've never been too into glam, but I do like the idea of the 2-die system. We could get more colors, I think, but 2 is a good start.
2 is a really good start because the thing, so like you, I'm not too crazy about glam, but I am crazy about judging people's glam.
Okay. Yeah.
My character looks good 9 times out of 10, right? If something's ugly, I'll glam it, but usually I'll dye it if I don't like it, or I'll change the piece if I don't like it. But for the most part, I just kind of keep with what I'm leveling up with because it's the newest gear. It's like what I like. Every once in a while, I'll find something I like from like older patches. A big pet peeve is when someone has an ugly glam.
Define ugly.
Like all one color, like the metallic paints. I hate it. I think it's like, it's one thing if it's accidentally bad, but when you purposefully glam something and you think it looks awesome, chances are I just hate it.
Okay. I feel like you're calling me out though.
No. Like unless this is you. I haven't seen your character in a minute.
To be fair, all of my glams that you have seen were given to me by chat because my sense of fashion is not great. I've had people flame me for my outfits in other games. So much so that I think they just give me stuff in 14 because it bothers them.
Well, how about, what are your top 3 least favorite glam pieces? Do you have anything that you see and you're like, I hate this piece of armor. Why do people like it? You have to have some, because I have some. I can't be the only psychopath that has certain pieces of gear I hate seeing.
I feel like I'd have to see them in a line to be like, yeah, that one. No, not that one. Do you have a name? Do you know the names of these pieces? Well,
I mean, I know what pieces they are. I might not know the exact name.
Okay.
I'll tell you my least favorite.
Okay.
I actually have the top 3. Least favorite.
I need to Google this.
Veneer bands across the eyes. Like the 2B headpiece. Are you using that right now? You better not be.
That's my Reaper.
No. I think it's because it doesn't make sense. Like, you can't see. It's dangerous.
But that's the point.
You're a menace to society. Like, if you're wearing that, okay, well,
it's for glam.
If you're wearing these other 2, I'm going to lose it.
Okay. Wait, well...
The second one is the parka jacket with the big furry hood. I despise it, and everyone uses it. And usually they wear that jacket with the near headpiece.
It's not my favorite, so I agree with you there, and it is the most used.
It's used a lot. I think that's probably why I don't like these particular pieces, just because they're used so much. The other ones I really don't like. I'll lump them all together, but anything from the Squall outfit and anything from the Cloud outfit, I just don't like.
Oh, okay.
A, because I despise Dissidia Squall, and B, I despise Advent Children Cloud. Design-wise, I don't mind them as characters. It's not a rabbit hole I want to go down, but you know how I feel about Tetsuya Nomura's designs.
Yes, I know. We can save that for another future video.
That needs hours to talk about my hatred for Tetsuya Nomura. Not hatred. I don't know what it is, because I love him, and I'm going to buy everything he does because I have a problem. There's something about him that drives me up a wall, man. I don't know what it is.
It's a love-hate relationship, for sure.
Love-hate relationship, for sure.
No, but I get that. But for me, I think it's for all Final Fantasy costumes. Like, if it's based on, like, even Yuna. Like, it looks nice, but I don't like it on anyone else other than the character Yuna.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It sort of feels out of place. Even when you dye it. Like, I tried really hard to dye it and make it work. But even then, I'm not quite... At least I don't know how to make it work.
Some people nail it, but when they got the near headpiece and that fur coat and everything's dyed the same color... That's why I'm excited for the 2-channel dye, because I think people will just naturally be a little bit smarter with it and use color theory and stuff. Like, I'm an art snob, you know, so of course I'm going to judge someone's outfit.
As someone who completely drenches my character in marble green, I don't want it all solid. Like, there are some pieces that have like blacks and other, you know, colors on it. That's fine. I totally get that. I'm on your side, I swear.
Now I'm going to judge your character next time I see it very harshly. So I hope it's up to par next time I see it.
I'll send you pictures.
Yeah. I have this really weird system with how I do glams and stuff. I'll like spin this obnoxious wheel that tells me what I'm going to do in 14 for that day or that session. And if it's like ever looking for glam, it'll give me a random number. This sounds insane. I sound like a crazy person. I'm so sorry. It'll give me a random number. I'll go to Eorzea collection and I'll plug that. I'll use that number as the page number and I will collect a glamour from that page, whatever glam I like most from that page, and add it to my glamour, which really makes me sound crazy.
It's not crazy. I think it's good content.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be good content and it's something fun to do. I mean, at least you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, then, you know. It's
kind of fun until it's something from a dungeon. I have to run a dungeon 50 times to get it.
Yes. Self-imposed suffering. I see that.
Well, we see that a lot in 14 with like...
relic weapons
and stuff. Like I think of, I mean, you know, Nero, you know, Avarice, like they have all of them. Orgasmo. I think they all have all of them.
Crazy to me. Yeah.
Blows my mind because I don't have one. I'll be honest. I don't have one.
Not even Hildy?
Oh, I have Hildy. I do have Hildy because that one was, thank goodness, the easiest one to get. The easiest one.
That's what I liked about Hildy. And I know a lot of people were complaining that it was too easy. I'm like, no. I appreciate easy because it's the only one I'll do.
I appreciated it too. And I think it's good that we're going back to like the Boja / Eureka content for the next expansion.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be linked to Ultimate Weapons. Yeah, I have like the first stage of all of them, but I never completed any of them. I think I'm trying to complete my first relic weapon from A Realm Reborn. And I know that's like the worst one.
That's the worst one, yeah.
But I want to get them in order and I'm taking my time with it. But I could never imagine getting all of them. That's just, that's too much.
No, too for me at least. I have nothing but praise for people who can actually do that.
So I guess that means we're both two filthy casuals with 14.
Yeah, we're normies.
Do you do any Savage content or anything like that?
I've done P1 and 2S. That's it.
I've done P1 and 2S. That's all I've done. That's so funny. I did some Alexander in the past, but I don't even remember that. That was, I think I did.
Min-I level?
No, like when it came out.
Oh, when it came out. Okay.
Yeah, but only like the first couple turns. And I did Binding Coil before there was Savage, just regular Binding Coil up through the first couple turns. But I never jumped into the end game scene until Endwalker. And I was really liking it, but it just takes too much. I mean, I have a lot to do and I get it. You're busy too. You're a content creator and like there's a lot to get done in a day and grinding Savage just ain't it for me. I wish I did have time for it.
It's really fun. I mean, I tried Uwu. We got past Garuda and then I saw Ifrit. But other than that, I'd like to go back to it. But especially now, I think the past 2-3 years, the amount of video games that have come out and needing to want to play them it's how do you have time?
100%. Last year was probably the worst year I've ever experienced with that. But the funny thing is this year is going to be worse. Way too many good games last year and way too many good games this year. Including Dawntrail, which is going to soak up a huge amount of time. What other games are you looking forward to this year?
Grand Blue is at the end of this month.
Yeah, Grand Blue.
Relink that one. Was there a new Mana game?
Yeah, I don't know when it's coming out this year, but it is exciting. I think it's Visions of Mana, I think. And then, of course, Rebirth. That's going to be huge.
For sure.
For me, my game of the year, which it's a big potential, it's going to be bad. But I'm really crossing my fingers it's not bad. But the new spiritual successor to Wild Arms, Armed Fantasia, is a big deal for me.
I'm hoping it's good.
I'm hoping it's good too, but it's the same team and everything. But the thing is, it's still not a AAA game, right? It raised a lot of money. There's potential for it to fall flat just because of that reason, because it doesn't have the same amount of love. And yes, it has a lot of the core team members. Same with Penny Blood. There is bad with those original games too. You know, like if they re-release Shadow Hearts today, it would kind of be shit on as like a not super great game. Because we look at it like through nostalgia and everything, but can they create a competitive game that can go up against Grand Blue, that can go up against Rebirth, that can go up against Visions of Mana, like all of these really outstanding IPs? So I'm hopeful, of course. and I'm very excited, but there's a lot. Metaphor looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most excited for?
Probably Rebirth. No,
Yeah.
Grand Blue.
Really? Grand Blue?
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused with Grand Blue because I don't know what kind of game it is. Like it looks very mission based. It looks like you can recruit
co-op.
different characters. There's co-op. So I don't know what kind of experience I'm getting into. I know very little about the franchise. I know it was a mobile game and I know it has a fighting game, but that's all I know, really.
Originally browser that became mobile.
Oh, okay.
And it's still super duper active, but yeah, there's hundreds of characters.
So that's just its thing, is having lots of characters.
Lots of characters. The battle system seemed interesting. I played the demo at Anime Expo last year, and it was interesting. I'm curious to see more.
I mean, it's gorgeous. It's for sure a gorgeous game.
I'm just ready for it to be out so that I can move on to another game.
What I'll do is I'll kind of map out the releases over the next couple of months to try to see what I can squeeze out of content. Like I'll do like first impressions videos or something like that. But I don't think I'll ever have time to like play an entire game and do an actual review. Just while also streaming YouTube, music stuff, my full-time job. I wish I had time just to sit down and just play through a whole game in a short amount of time. I still haven't beaten most of the games I fell in love with last year. Like I'm still never beat Baldur's Gate. They'll never beat Tears of the Kingdom. Like I'm behind. It's rough out here.
Same. We don't talk about those. Backlog? Shh.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of games you haven't finished.
Yes. Yes, I do.
What's the one that always gets away? It's the one that you've been putting off for too long.
Too long? There's a lot. One is Star Ocean. I want to play the whole of Yakuza. I still haven't played Crisis Core Reunion. What else? Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't even bought or touched. Forbidden West, Horizon Forbidden West. That's also on my backlog. Sea of Stars.
Those are some good ones. You're missing out on some good ones. Yeah.
I know. And I'm just,
Yeah. But I'm right there with you. I feel it. It's a hard thing to juggle. For me, streaming is the only thing that like keeps me consistent with playing video games. I feel like if I didn't have streaming, I'd really just let real life take over, unfortunately. And I probably wouldn't play very many video games. Well, back to Dawntrail. We keep going down these rabbit holes, which is fine. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Another big thing I'm really confused about is Solution 9, the new city, right?
I saw it. It reminds me of Terra. It reminds me of Bron Ball.
So yeah, that's a good thing to bring up. I think with it being called Solution 9, which if anyone doesn't know, it's a Dine ability from 9, used by Zidane.
Okay, I also called it Dean.
Oh no, that might be right. I'm not totally sure.
I don't know.
I've always called it Dine.
Yeah, no, I heard you say it in your video, and I was like, Dine. I guess Dine makes sense.
So the last Fan Fest, we got that image of that area, but there was a big blurred out area that said secret. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's Solution 9, like the structure. I thought it was an airship. Obviously, I was wrong. I'm assuming that was the big structure with Solution 9. So what I heard is that Solution 9 is like a giant computer that
looks like a computer.
That is generating this virtual city called Solution 9. The image they show for the 8-man raid, and even Yoshi P joked about it. He said it looks like a GPU.
Yeah.
It looks like something's so massively powerful. And then they said the area has like all these lightning storms that generate all this all these structures. And I'm like, I bet this is a giant supercomputer that's trying to pump out this digital world called Solution 9. Now, what Solution 9 is, I'm not sure. There's people saying, oh, maybe it's like an Allegan technology that like maybe the Allegans who escaped the calamity, maybe they started Solution 9 or something. I have no idea. But I thought that was a pretty fun theory that it's like a digital world because it looks so strikingly different. It does not look like Eorzea at all. And unless it was on another planet or something, which I don't think it is because we see that structure there. I think it is in that structure. I don't know. Like that was like the most baffled I've been at a reveal is like, what are they thinking? What is it? No idea, except for that I kind of dove into that rumor after the fact. I think that's like one of the things I'm most excited for is just the huge change of direction. Because if that is just a digital world, like how fun, like what a fun thing to do out of nowhere. Because I wasn't expecting that. That was not on my Dawntrail bingo card at all.
No.
Yeah.
I was also thinking possible Alligans, but like this is gonna be the hub, the second hub.
Or hear me out. Yeah, I think it's the second one. What if there's Alligans still around?
I'd never considered the idea.
Yeah, maybe this
possible.
is Allagan. Maybe this is Allagan technology pushed forward because Alligans are still around. It's hard to say. I bet all of my ideas in my head are going to be so stupid and wrong when I finally figure it out.
But it looks so cyberpunk compared to like the Allagan tech that we know.
But what if Alligans kept going? What if a portion of Allagan kept building on top of that technology? It could be like that, but it looked very modern. Like you saw like apartment complexes, you saw billboards, you saw
they had like idols.
Kiosks. Yeah, like idol. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, huh? So there are people that are living there.
Speaking of idols, what are your thoughts? So you saw the key art, right? The Dawntrail key art. Who's up top?
That is the question. I was looking at that earlier. Yeah.
She looks very different from everybody else. Mm-hmm. Now, I thought she was holding a sword, but I think that's just the headpiece of what's his face. I don't know who she is. And I think that's the part. And I also don't know who this Miqote is.
Yeah.
That's wearing sunglasses. I think those are the only two characters we don't know anything about. We don't know about the female Hrothgar. I forget her name, but we know that she's going to be in the next patch next Tuesday. I think the girl up top is the most, it sucks because you can't really see her clothes that well. You can't see like what kind of vibe she's putting out.
What's really suspicious is her headpiece.
The neck piece and the armband kind of look illuminated, like she might be kind of futuristic lady. Maybe she is in Solution 9, but her being on top of everything, I'm assuming she's going to play a really major role in the story. And I think
she's the only one completely lit up.
Only one completely lit up. Yeah. I feel like this is the most secretive they've been, or not secretive, but the biggest red herring of a expansion we've ever had. This one, we know nothing. We know like absolutely, we know it as a fun summer vacation, but I know Yoshi P, it's not going to be fun. No, it's going to be fun for the first 10 minutes, and then it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, there was that bit. The Scions are going to find the City of Gold, but what they don't know is that it will cause the Scions to be divided.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I was like, what does that mean? Like divided, like they're not going to fight, but, or are they? Are they going to turn on each other? And the more I look at the girl at the top, she, like her collar looks very Finn.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks Finn-like.
Even the headpiece kind of reminds me of the 12. Like her she looks like the 12. You know, that art, not an art style, but just the way that she looks
similar. Yeah. Yeah, I know there's probably a lot to pick out of this picture that we're not seeing, and it'll all make sense in the future. I'm surprised the two-headed Mamulja is as big as he is, because I always thought he was just a throwaway part of the story, like maybe like the first entry point, but he's big. Like I wonder if he's going to be like an antagonist. And I don't know who the Mamulja is on the bottom. Clearly right. He's a main character, right? If he's in the key work. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been this excited to kind of figure out the mysteries. Endwalker was kind of the same way, but I thought I had it all figured out before Endwalker.
We thought we did, yeah.
Yeah, and they really threw some curveballs. But this one, I think they're painting it to be like this fun, carefree adventure. And I think it's going to be a lot bigger scale than we think.
Everyone's saying beach episode, but then like there's a whole country town. Like it's Wild West. How does this all fit together?
I think the beach episode is going to be very early on. And I think it's going to be pretty carefree for a minute. I know we won't get the climax that we got in Endwalker because Endwalker was its own story all in one expansion. I think this story is going to go all the way through post patches. So we won't face the big bad guy till what, 7.6?
Or 7.3.
Oh, is it usually 7. It's
usually 0.3. And then they're doing the intro to the next patch.
Yeah, you're right. But I am excited. What other things about Dawntrail are you really excited about?
Other than Viper?
Other than Viper.
Just exploring the new lands and seeing this is very, like, I want to see the clothing textures.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's huge for me, too.
I'm really excited about that. Just looking at the cinematic trailer, I couldn't get over the fact that LSA's boots were like they had striations.
Yeah, they did.
And I was like, what? It's such a stupid thing to get really excited about.
And I like that they called this the first graphical update. So I like that they have that notion that it will continue to happen. Because I really hope that this game, I mean, I look at Final Fantasy 11, right? And it's still going on 20 years later, which is awesome. It's not going strong, but it's still going. Or even World of Warcraft, you know, 3 years later, it's still going. I hope that this game has that longevity. And I know it's not going to have the same quality all throughout, unless it retains like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft still has a huge amount of money pumped into it. It'd be cool to see what 10.0 looks like, you know? I play 14 for the characters and the story. It's just been so cool being able to spend so much time with these characters. I mean, any of the characters really, like I think of like 2.0 Thancred, or if you're really old like me, 1.0 Thancred. It's wild to see how far he's come. I hate him now. I like old Thancred way more.
Is it because he's too edgy? Is it because he's trying to be Squall? Is that why?
Yeah, I liked it when he was like this roguish, fun character, you know? His class was a rogue, actually. And then when he became ninja in Heaven's Ward, it was a little too much. Like with the eye, I mean, he had the bandage over his eye, already not into it. And he was like dirty. Like they made his character model dirty. It was so weird. And then, you know, he had a glow up for Shadowbringers, but I kind of wish all the characters changed their outfits every expansion. I know that's probably expensive. Let's talk about Y'shtola. She's not in this picture.
She isn't. Neither is Alphino or Elisei.
Well, Alphino and Elisei are at least in the trailer.
She's in the trailer.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, she is. She has the what does she say in English?
Oh heavens.
Oh yeah, in English. In Japanese she says nani, which is cute. Yeah, no, they're not on this page, which is a little not concerning, but I'm wondering why. Yeah,
that is interesting because that's 3 of the major scions not here. But we still have Thancred and Urianger, which is interesting because they kind of played a back seat in Endwalker, comparatively speaking.
Yes, yes. I mean, we did have those big moments though with Urianger and
Moonbreeda's parents.
Moonbreeda's parents, yeah.
That gutted me. Oh my god, that was by far the saddest part of that whole expansion. That got me. Yeah, it's weird seeing the scions, and then we have. What's his face? I just noticed he really blended in there. Bunny boy.
Erenville, I'm excited for. I think he's so hot.
He is, yeah. I remember when I first saw him in Endwalker, I'm like, oh my god, this is the most attractive character in this game.
Right. And then the fact they gave him a voice. I was like, suspicious. I am excited for the 16 collab.
I think it's going to be way shorter than I want it to be. I think it's going to be like a 2-hour thing, but getting the Torgal mount, 100%.
I heard that there was a rumor, or at least someone in chat said that Yoshimi was considering a part 2 for 16.
I think they should, maybe after the big DLC. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, the DLC is this month, isn't it?
Is it? The big one?
Leviathan?
Is it Rising Tides this month?
Mm-hmm.
God.
End of this month.
I can't keep up. This is insane. I still didn't play Echoes of the Fallen.
I haven't either.
I wanted to play them all together.
Same. That is the excuse that I used. I was like, I'm just waiting. They're like, just get it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait till it's out.
I'm excited for obviously the graphical update is gonna be fun. I'm excited there is female Hrothgar, but I'm not gonna, Fantasia. But I am excited that everyone's getting a Fantasia, and that's great news.
The free Fantasia for the Fantasia addicts.
I've never done it. This will be my first time ever since 10 years ago. So that's kind of fun.
Are you planning to use it?
The only thing I really want to change is not my race, Catboy for life. I'm sorry. I want to change my eye color. I don't like my eye color.
Oh, what would you change it to?
I don't know. They're just like a little too blue, I think.
Okay.
I just want to change it a little bit. I don't think they've announced it yet, but I think they are going to add more to the character creation. Not just the new textures and everything. I think there will be some more options, maybe some starting hairstyles and stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping, like, I'm not a bun girl or bun boy. I feel for people with the bunny ears and the limited head pieces that they can wear.
They're working on it. And I mean, we've seen some improvement. I think the Hrothgars get it a lot worse because I don't know how you feel about it, but Hrothgars, when they get hairstyles added, they always look bad. Like it feels like they just like copied and pasted to a model that doesn't fit. They didn't really take the time to cater to the model. So a lot of the hairstyles look really bad with Hrothgar, even though they are getting more and more each patch. I feel like they're not spending the TLC they need to make it look great.
Yeah, I feel like they could do better. They could definitely do
I think
better
they could.
with it.
I wish they would have just made Hrothgar a little bit more like the Ronsos from 10. I think that would have made more sense scale wise.
True.
But because they are a little bit different with how they're proportioned, which is a little bit more, you know, big cat like, that's cool. Like they're kind of hunched over. They're proportionately different than the rest of the models. That's definitely a harder task to have a race that is that different from everything else. But the female Hrothgars, I think, look a lot better than the male Hrothgars. And I think it's because they decided to make it a little bit more proportionate with everything else.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing comparatively, like female Hroth versus male Hroth.
Like they're still big,
Yeah.
like as they should be. They're big cat people. It just looks a little bit more polished. Even the Hrothgars, maybe I'm just sounding 14 racist, and I hope I'm not. But like their choices for like that Hrothgar get for like create a character, I just think are really lackluster. Like they're just not as polished as other selections, which is kind of a bummer because I think they had a really cool opportunity with Hrothgar and just kind of let it fall flat.
But I know there are big Hrothgar fans out there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I just think they're not getting the best that they could be getting, you know.
True.
Because it's a cool race. It's just kind of slept on, I think, from the developers with the lazy hairstyle placement and stuff like that. Just stuff like that, you know. What else is there?
Beastmaster?
Oh, Beastmaster. That was exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew it was going to happen. Like, that's been the most circulated rumor since Blue Mage dropped, is that that's going to be the next one. What do you think it's going to play like? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be just a Blue Mage copy? Instead of skills, we're just collecting monsters? Or do you think they're going to have like a whole system with it?
I'm hoping they have a whole system. Wishful thinking, it's kind of like Pokemon, where you just battle each other and they have their own like PvP. Integrate that with Island Sanctuary. I think that would be really cool if you could bring your beasts to Island Sanctuary. Instead of just having the ones that you get from the island, you could also put your beasts into your island.
Do you think it's going to be like any monster is able to be captured? Or what do you think? Like, where is the line? Like, what are they going to allow us to do?
That's a good question. I have no idea. Unless there's like specific... It would have to be specific monsters.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the only monsters you can grab are going to be from a selected list that is like the hunt list, but probably different. I think they'll call it notorious monsters because that's what they were called in 11. Yeah. And they will probably pull from their own repertoire vocabulary. And I think those notorious monsters will be something you can collect. Thinking of how Blue Mage works and how there's the masked carnival, that's like its own thing, right? This thing you do solo. It's like this challenge. It didn't really take on as much as they wanted, I don't think. I think the fun from Blue Mage comes from getting all of the spells, not so much masked carnival. But I'm hoping that there is a tournament, like a PvP thing, where you can go against other people. I think that'd be brilliant. Now, I'm not a game designer. That's probably really difficult to do, just to have like this monster coliseum. But if they did that, it would be a huge hit. It would be so cool.
Awesome. It would be so cool. Other than that, I don't know how they could pull it off. If they could, props to them. You did the Fall Guys thing, right? And then you saw how that, like, it was great first 2 weeks, and then it sort of fell off, especially because people kept trying to break it.
I've never won once.
I won once, but it was because I had spawned in my own. Like, I was the only one in it.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. And that's what people were starting to do because they found out that was a thing. So they would just leave and then enter, leave and then enter until they spawned as the only one.
Oh, that's silly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you did that, so how dare you?
It only happened, that was an accident, and it was before everyone started doing it. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna stand on this hill and
You're the one that started it. They saw you do it and they said, well, I guess this is the new meta. Let's follow Zordon.
I did it off stream. Nobody knew.
Okay. The issue with any great idea they have with 14, the rewards aren't good enough.
Yeah, that was a problem with Variant as well, especially the Criterion.
Yeah, I think the new one, you get materials to level up your weapon, and it's the only way to get the materials, which it is cool, but you're only doing it for 5 item levels, and it is a grind to do so. But I wish that 14 wasn't so concrete with everything. I really wish there was randomly generated gear. like most MMOs have.
Okay, yeah.
Where you might have a slightly different piece than somebody else, and it can still be plenty balanced. It's just, I think because they're so hyper focused on that balanced, that any sway, either positive or negative, they're just not about. I hate defending World of Warcraft. I'm a big World of Warcraft fan, right?
That's fine.
But
yeah.
they've let me down a lot the past decade. But what I really like about that game is there's all these different ways to get best in slot. Now there is like the best in slot, right? But a lot of it is random, like RNG, and you can get it from Mythic Plus, you can get it from doing world quests, you can get it from this. And what's cool is that they're all kind of the same armor sets, but there'll be slightly different color variations, like stuff like that. I know we can dye armor, because that'd be a really easy solution, just to have, here's this tomb gear. Tomb gear is the easiest way to get it, or you can get this slightly variated version from this content, or this slightly variated version from this content. Remember when we would get the pink items in 14? What drops pink items?
This sounds so familiar. I don't remember.
This is old, right? Ethereal. You would get ethereal gear, and it'd be pink. So you had green and you had pink, but the pink, what I thought they were going to do was make the ethereal gear drops from different various kinds of content that is pretty good gear, like good filler gear. Maybe put it on par with like gear that you can craft or something, you know, something like that. But the fact that we only have one best in slot, it just limits the reason to do things. And they can be slightly higher item level, slightly lower, just like make it fun to play things, even if it's just for glam, even if all the stuff is just different color variants of glam. Like I love what they're doing at the PvP stuff, how you can, every patch, there's like new recolored sets in there. I love that. It's a great idea. They don't have to put them in PvP, put them in treasure chests across all these different content, so that it's just a little bit more fun to do things. Everything you do should reward you, and not with a currency. Like, don't, like, we're humans. We want to see something physically, open up and be like, yay, I got something. Like, that's what's fun. So I wish that we did that more in 14. Again, I play 14 for the story. I play it for the music. I play it for the character development and all that. So its shortcomings in the MMO pocket, it's fine. Like, it's still a fantastic game. Just wish that they did have a little bit more RNG in there for like fun random stuff, you know? As
someone who hasn't played very many MMOs, the other ones that I did play, I didn't play them for very long. So my only understanding of MMO is basically 14. I do like the idea of the RNG a little bit. I think that would be really cool to get people to go back and do that content, try to get something a little bit better. Try to get some variety. Well,
that's the thing. Like with WoW, you would have like this slot, right? So every piece of gear has like its normal set stats, and then it has plus haste, plus mastery, plus this, and that changes. It's the little green subtext that changes. And there's like the one perk that you want so bad, and that's the hardest one to get. So there's all these people that are getting different variants of this gear that gives slightly more this, slightly more this, but then the Holy Grail is like the one that's hardest to get, and it's like the perfect meta best in slot piece. I love that when it's not so random and it's like, okay, I know how to get this piece of armor. I have to run this dungeon 24 times, and then I'll have enough tombs to trade in for this, to that, upgrade it, and then I'll have best in slot. It's just not as fun when you have the whole path in front of you. I get that people want that, and that should still be in the game. I just wish there was an alternative for people that are loot whores like me that just want to like open up some treasure chests. That's it. That's why I think treasure maps is like one of the best things in the game, but I do wish that it also dropped fun gear. Some of them do, like you get like the glam, like the fairy wings and stuff like that, whatever. But I just wish it was, the minions. I wish there was more really exciting loot to get. And hopefully that changes, because I know I can't be the only one screaming.
No, for sure. Yeah.
For this,
Better rewards is always, I think, a good way to go.
So wrapping up, what is your most cosmic travel, or what do they call it? Cosmic exploration?
Yeah, so
that's bonkers.
I did not see that when I reacted to it on stream, because I was just sifting through it. So I used your video to actually sit down and fill in whatever I lost. So I didn't see that until I saw your video. I was like, wait, so we go to different planets? Planets?
It's firmament, 100%. It's firmament.
Okay.
So every time it levels up, do you do crafting stuff?
all of my crafters are like level 20.
Okay. So if you were to do Firmament, or if you were to have done it, it leveled up and the Firmament got nicer and nicer. Now, if you missed out, like you can't go back and do it. So if you go to the Firmament, it's done for you.
Yeah.
Because everyone built it already. So that's cool. It's just a different venue for Firmament. We're going to be going to different planets. So every time we level up, we'll go to a different planet. So I think it's really brilliant because it makes it to where only those people that helped got to experience it. And I love that. I know that there's like the FOMO thing where people don't want to miss out, but there should be those little slivers of like huge accomplishment for that small group of players. Now, I wish they did something like that for non-crafter classes.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really, really impactful if there was something like you can only experience once and then it's gone. Because you were there to experience it. I think that's like really few and far between because it's kind of unfair. But I like that Firmament did it, and I like that this new one's going to do it.
So you're saying I should level up my crafting now. ASAP.
Yeah, you don't have to level them up. You just have to be a part of it. So you can be level 20 and not level up once and still contribute. And you can be there to see it grow. They have like leaderboards where you can see who's contributing the most and everything like that. But you can be there. You don't have to even do anything. Just go there once a patch and see what's going on.
But I want to at least put something.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's really great when the game changes for certain people.
No, I like that a lot. The whole FOMO thing is, I don't mind it. But I feel like the people that were there for 1.0 got that like the best.
Oh, yeah. I didn't play through all of 1.0, but I'm glad I got to like be there and kind of see it from the beginning. It kind of feels cool because I'm a big 1.0 fan. A lot of people didn't enjoy it, but 1.0, as janky as it was, it had a lot of charm and it was very, very unique. As soon as Yoshi P took the game, everything they did to like fix it was really impactful. And then the way they killed it was also really cool. It was like really exciting. And seeing all these characters, like not a lot of people saw Minfilia as a child, you know, not a lot of people saw Thancred kill Minfilia's parents. People forget about that. And it's cool, like kind of having that little piece, but it's also cool for the people that got to build Firmament and see it. Like it was all a part of the story. They built Firmament and now you can buy houses there. Like how cool is that? That was such a cool idea.
So you're saying that housing for different planets. Is that what we're saying?
I don't think we're going there.
But housing on the moon. But that makes sense, though. You said Firmament, and now people can make houses there.
Yes.
You planted into my mind now. I'm expecting.
The next housing area, I can almost guarantee, is going to be Solution 9. I think that's what everyone's going to want is Solution 9 housing. And as for the pseudo Firmament thing with the space stuff, I think it's going to introduce a new diadem. Have you ever done diadem? Well, some of the coolest content. It's almost like a DPS version of crafting and gathering, or of gathering, I'm sorry.
Okay. Where
you have this floating mountain called Diadem that you can go gather and you get crazy experience. But they also give you this giant laser. This sounds like a fever dream, but it's real, I promise.
Oh, wait, I need to see this. Hold on. Wait, you got a laser?
Yes. So in Diadem, you're gathering, right? You're flying around, you're gathering, but you're also filling up this bar so that if a monster comes up to try to kill you, it's only gatherers in the area. So you have this giant Magitech cannon that you can kill things in one hit if you have it charged up. I know this sounds crazy, but it's real, I promise. And I hope they do something like that with the Cosmic Exploration. I hope there's a new Diadem, because Diadem is old. That was 3.0. That was a long time ago. So I'm hoping that we get a new Diadem and have it a new fun thing to do. And maybe they let DPS in there too, you know, just for fun.
I'd like to be a part of that because I never got that.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. It's a very weird thing that people just didn't see, or a lot of people missed out on Eureka. A lot of people missed out on Boja just because they didn't think it's very much side content. And I think that's what I love about those kinds of avenues of gameplay is you could miss them or you can throw in all your time into them and kind of experience it. I think Dawntrail has all of it. I think we're getting a new Firmament. We're getting hopefully a new Diadem type thing. We're getting a new Boja. We're getting new Criterion. I was hoping those weren't going to go away. We're getting another deep dungeon. Like, we're eating good.
Very, very good. I'm excited. Nothing but positive. Was there anything that rubbed you the wrong way?
No, not really. I think everything I'm so easy to please. Like I'm so positive when it comes to like anything in a niche that I'm in love with. I just discussed all the things that I would want different, of course, but just like you said, like I'm most excited just to explore, run around, see new areas, you know, do all the side quests and just like have fun exploring and soaking up every bit I can.
Yeah, all the music, the new
all the music, soaking up the soaking. And I think the music he did in Endwalker was some of his best. I'm one of the people get mad when I say it, but Shadowbringers had some really great tracks, but it didn't have a lot of really great tracks. I did not like the battle theme. Endwalker, I loved the battle theme. It was a little too edgy in Shadowbringers. I know that was the point. It was the point of like being this edgelord. I get it. But there was so much more emotion in Endwalker and so much more standout tracks. And even post Endwalker, like all the 4, like Final Fantasy IV stuff, some of the best tracks ever, hearing those. Each expansion, he got better and better. I'll be the first to say he's never been my favorite composer. He's still maybe top 10 for me. He's very, very good. He knows what he's doing, but he's still only really good when he's riffing off of somebody else. If he's riffing off of a Nobuo Uematsu track, or if he's ripping off of even himself.
And then he builds on it.
Yeah. And that's what Endwalker did. Endwalker took one melody and place it over everything, but changed it, added variations, added different medleys. And I think that's what Dawntrail's doing, because if you hear the main theme, and then when they played the stuff in Solution 9, you can hear the same medley in there. And I'm excited to see that again, to see how far he takes this one track, the Dawntrail track, and just makes it so impactful in different areas and different emotions. I think that's his strong suit, because we don't really see that in a lot of composers in video games, where they take that one motif and just like go crazy with it.
Yeah.
You see that in like a lot of film and stuff.
Yeah. I was like, you don't see it in video games very much.
I mean, you're a music nerd too, so that's like a big draw for me, is the music, of course. So it's very exciting. Well, thank you, Zordon. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
This was a lot of fun.
January 16, next
patch. Yeah, I know it's going to be over so quick, but I'm excited to dive into it.
I'm going to try and hold out until Dawntrail. After that,
only a few more months. We'll survive. You got a big backlog to take care of.
Don't